Hey everyone, welcome back to the realm. I am Gina.
Well, I'm going to do a dramatic spin.
It
I'm rich.
would have been
Was that
better if you
dramatic?
said, I'm Richard.
It would have been funny if I turned around and I was speaking a foreign language.
Or you would have, if you would have done this, your pinky up
Oh,
to your mouth like
and
Dr.
have a
Evil.
cat?
Yeah, that would have
Yeah.
even been better. So,
Yeah.
for those of you that listen to us in your car, whatever, that's fine. But you should also watch us on
Mhm.
YouTube at some point. Not while you're driving. I don't recommend that. Obviously,
No,
we cannot, like
we can't
propose that as
endorse
an
that.
idea. Yeah,
Sorry.
we can't endorse that. That's a good word. I couldn't find that word, but
Although
yes.
I see people driving, watching TV all the time, but we can't
Yeah,
tell you.
I've seen
Can't
it
tell you.
myself. So like people have their
Oh yeah.
phones like hooked up to the thing and they got videos going. So yeah. So we
Yep.
can't endorse that, but we can endorse that like, hey, when you're on your lunch break, maybe just watch our YouTube video and then you can see our lovely faces and all the funny things that go on when we're recording.
Mhm.
So, having said that, this is our weird news episode. Uh and it's just Rich and I tonight. So if you were
Yeah.
hoping to hear from anybody else, it's just us two. But I feel like, I mean, we're a winning team. So I
Mhm.
mean, people's ears will be blessed with us tonight.
Oh
So
yeah.
as we bring news stories that nobody knows what the other person is bringing, and we blind react to each other's news stories. It's always going to be weird, and that helps you catch up on weird news you might have missed. So I have to say though, it's too bad Rob's not here. The last weird news episode that we recorded, that came out before this one, Rob did a story on the escaped monkeys, that
Mhm.
had gotten loose with the diseases or whatever. And that night, like within hours after we had recorded, there a news story popped out that a woman had shot one of the monkeys that was on her property 'cause she was
Mhm.
afraid of it. So
And
I was like,
they said that was the last one unaccounted for. I think.
oh,
I
yeah.
think
Well,
I
because I
read
thought
that
there
or
was
heard that.
two, but I don't know. Yeah. So I know that they were shot. And so
Hmm.
I was like, oh my gosh, so how timely. So just a follow up to that news story in case you
That's
listened to our
cool.
last one and didn't know. I will actually go first. I'm just going to vote to go first. We don't have
Okay.
to do
Yeah.
anything fancy tonight.
Yeah.
So I am going to go first with my story. I'm going to have you choose um, a duped shopper or a scorned woman.
Hmm.
Oh man, the dupe shopper is so good though. You know what? I'm gonna do the dupe shopper, and
Is
then
either one of them from Florida?
no, close though. He's from
Oh,
Georgia.
is that
But
which one? The duped chopper?
yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
do that one then.
Okay, this one's from Georgia. So here we go. So this is from New York Post, but it was on many other news stories. So this just happened to be the one that I picked. But a shopper is baffled after AliExpress sends him something unexpected. I'm not going to read the title. Let me just tell you the story. But he says, I was taken advantage of when I ordered a $40 tool. So here it is. A man was shocked after he ordered a drill from AliExpress and received a photograph of, of the tool instead. So in November of 2024,
Hmm.
Sylvester Franklin, 68, ordered the DIY appliance and a pressure washer for $40 from a budget online store, which I guess is called AliExpress. On December 9th, the package arrived, and instead of a new drill and pressure washer, he received a picture of the drill and a screw. When I saw this headline, I was like, there is no way. But it's true. He complained to the company and has still not received a refund. So, I mean, now imagine this was a year ago. So, I don't know the follow up if he really did, but I'm going to share my screen with you of what this guy actually received.
I was gonna say, what was the response from the company when he called the complaint and said I got a picture? Would they how would how
Silence.
do you answer how do you answer that?
Look, look at Sylvester here. This is what he got. He got the picture of the drill that he thought he was ordering. I don't mean to laugh at his pain, but it's kind of like if it's too good to be true, it might be too good to be true.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely. I would agree with that. Yes.
unless you're ordering from Temu. But it says, I'm going to show you. So Sylvester, a former mechanic and repairman from Savannah, Georgia, he said, I paid around $40 and all I got was a picture of the drill and a screw. And it wasn't actually a screw. I'll show you what it was. He said, I was very upset. I contacted them for a refund straight away and they haven't got back to me. I'm retired and they took advantage of me and they need to pay for what they've done. So this is the screw, but it's not. It's
Oh,
actually just like a drill bit.
yeah, like a bit
Just
driver. Yeah.
yeah, just a bit driver.
Not even. It's not even a new one.
No, it's used. I was dying. I was like, this is even a used like bit driver. He says I use the tools to work on my car or around the house, and he says, he just feels taken advantage of. When I pay for something, he says I expect to get what I paid for. Well, buyer beware if you are being sold a drill and a pressure washer for $40. It might be too good to be true. So the New York Post did try to contact AliExpress for a comment, and they got nothing in return. So I don't know what the follow up is to the story. So, but all I know is if I ordered something and I got a printed out picture.
Yeah, that's pretty rough there.
I
Wow.
mean, I guess it didn't specify that it was going to be a picture.
Well,
Of,
I guess that's what you would have to know. You'd have to know, was there a fine print somewhere? You know,
it's,
because I've seen that before, where you see something that's being sold and you're assuming one thing, but you got to really read it, and it'll say doesn't include or whatever. So you got to pay
could,
attention to that. I mean, but
could
that
you
that
imagine opening your package and finding that though?
yeah, that's pretty brave. Charging somebody $40 and then sending them a picture of something.
And a
That's
used
pretty
bit.
yeah, used. And it's not even a Phillips bit. It was a straight blade. I mean, you know,
I mean, how much can you do with a straight?
I
Not
mean, they
not
could
too
at
much.
least set the 10 millimeter socket. That's the thing. That's the thing everybody's missing. They
Right.
did
That's
that at
always
least.
the one missing. Oh my gosh, when I used to do my brake pads and stuff, that was always missing.
I mean, I bet
Anyway,
I'd pay $40 for a 10 millimeter socket if you needed it. So I
a
mean,
package of
it
them.
could have been a win-win. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that
true.
sucks.
Anyway, that's my story.
All right, my story, which I found, is from the AP. It is not the story that I really wanted to do, folks, but unfortunately, uh, that one I didn't have enough time to read up on. So maybe another time, or maybe
Let's
we
save
can
it for next time.
maybe we can actually do an episode on something like that.
Oh yeah, I would really
You
like
know?
to do an episode on that actually, because we did an episode talking about that topic
Yeah,
previously.
yeah.
Just as a little hint, has to do with AI.
Hmm.
But since that episode, a lot has happened,
Oh
and
yeah,
maybe we can have our guests back on to talk about some of that stuff. But what do
yeah.
you got today? What do you
All
got?
right, what I have is relic from the wreck of the Edmunds Fitzgerald is returned, plus 600,000 from Michigan. So we
Wait,
all know
what?
the yeah we all know the story, the song. The Edmund Fitzgerald sank in Lake Superior. Uh,
Uh-huh.
this is comes out of Detroit. The state of Michigan is giving up ownership, so they must have had this somewhere, maybe in a museum. We'll see what it says here. They're giving up ownership of a rare relic from the famous Edmund Fitzgerald shipwreck, just weeks after it strangely obtained it through a settlement in a lawsuit that was completely unrelated to the doomed freighter.
Huh.
So somehow the state of Michigan just took possession of it, and now they're giving it back, or giving it
Because they're
up
getting
to.
sued. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of interesting, isn't it? Larry Orr is getting one of the ship's life rings back, and the state will still pay $600,000 towards that settlement of his
Oh
lawsuit over
my
police
gosh.
misconduct, whatever that means. He says, I feel a whole lot better, or 77 told the Associated Press. And then here we have a brief synopsis on the Edmund Fitzgerald for those that do not know. In 1975, 8 days after the Fitzgerald sank in Lake Superior, killing all 29 men, Orr said he found the life ring and a piece of a lifeboat on the shores of the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. So this ore guy who now has this stuff back, he's saying he was the original one that originally found it right after the wreck, 5 days after, or 8 days after the wreck. He says there is an eerie feeling, maybe somebody had survived, he recalled. So when he found it, he was thinking there were
Oh,
survivors.
yeah.
I looked around for footprints or any other sign of life or whatever and never found anything. Fast forward to 50 years to this autumn, Orr was in talks with Michigan State Police to settle a lawsuit. He accused one of the lieutenants of violating his rights during a sexual abuse investigation
Oh,
that was ultimately discredited. Orr had spent 5 months in jail in addition to house arrest before the charges were dropped. So that's why he was taking them to court and why there was a lawsuit.
Okay, got it, got it.
That kind of goes back to the beginning of the story about how he obtained it and how
So
the
he was
state.
in a lawsuit over this
Yeah.
being in
When he said
jail over
it wasn't
stuff.
related to the Fitzgerald, it was related to something else. So
Gotcha.
somehow they were intertwined, and that's how. Orr and his attorney Shannon Smith said the state suddenly expressed interest in the Fitzgerald life ring during the negotiations. Orr said Husaka was aware that he owned it when he saw paperwork during his search of his Michigan home. That Baraska is that state patrol officer that he was suing. Orr said he felt that he was being manipulated, but he had also needed money to move out of a recreational vehicle in Florida. Florida. I did it anyway. Oh, I
You
didn't,
got
but
a
I made it to
Florida man
Florida.
anyway.
Smith said throwing the ring into the deal raised the settlement to $600,000 from roughly $300,000.
Oh, geez.
I think we should have gotten $1 million for everything they did to me, Orr said.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like that guy up in Manitowoc. What's his name? I can't think of his name. The guy arrested in Manitowoc, and then he spent time in jail, and then he got out because he was
Oh, you're talking
fully
about the Avery.
Avery, Stephen Avery. Yeah.
Yes. Which we were talking about needing to do a
Yeah, episode on that one
full
too.
episode on, which would be interesting. I've never seen that, so I mean, I know
And we
the.
haven't done a true crime episode, so that'd be kind of
No,
cool to
you're
do
right.
true
You're
crime.
right. You're right. We haven't dove into that yet. I'm afraid if we do, that's gonna cause a problem because we're gonna start
Start liking it.
we're gonna start liking that because we're gonna be, if we put our detective hats on,
Right?
our normal hats on, where we have to tear it
GRPD,
apart,
baby.
and that really sucks when you're trying to watch TV sometimes.
Mhm.
When you end up having to decode a show and take it apart and go, no, that's not right, that's not true, that doesn't happen, like it, that kind of sucks.
I think all of our brains work like that now because we watch so much of our own like video and listen to so much of our audio that like anytime we're analyzing anything we're watching or listening to, our brain automatically goes in that mode. We've been doing it for so many years, some of us
Right.
like 20 years, that like you just even watch a movie or a documentary, you're just like have that investigator hat on and you're picking
Oh
everything
yeah.
apart. So I get it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And trust nothing. I'm
No.
skeptical of everything.
We could also talk about
They have to be.
Carol Baskins and and
Carol Baskins.
and
Joe Dirt.
Tiger King. Well,
Oh,
he might as
sorry.
well be. I mean, he kind of was. He was like the living Joe Dirt, but like
Yeah, I
the
never watched that. I never watched that either. I just know the characters, but I've never watched it.
you've never watched The Lion King or not The Lion King. Oh,
I've seen Lion King.
The
Oh,
Tiger King.
I have a feeling I like Lion King better, but
The Tiger King was really cool. It was like during the pandemic and that show
yeah,
came
yeah.
out and everybody was binging it to like
Everybody
just
else in my
ending.
house drank the Kool-Aid. I didn't.
It
They
was it
watched all that.
was
They
it was
they
very
when
interesting.
yeah, when the COVID thing hit, it was like everybody became couch potatoes and was watching
Yeah.
everything on TV, and
Also,
a
Don't
lot of
Fuck
that
with
going on
Cats. Did you
everywhere.
watch Don't Fuck with Cats?
I don't think I've seen that. What's that?
Oh god, that was another like crime
Oh,
type
really?
documentary
Oh, it's
where
another
people
doc. Oh,
like
okay. Oh,
internet sleuths that were like
really?
figuring out crimes and stuff. So that was pretty cool. So yeah.
Hmm. Interesting.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story. So
No, we're all good.
he got his stuff, he got his
Yep,
money,
yep, yep. He thought he should have been deserved. He deserved more.
thought he deserved more.
Everything he went through because he was in jail for that little bit of time, and They had to go through this with the law, with the try and take them to court and all that stuff. So
Yeah. Could you imagine finding something from a wreckage and like frantically searching to see if there's survivors? That would be kind of creepy. That would be eerie to even own that. Like to even just hang on to that piece of memorabilia.
yeah, being it's that and like a piece of a life and just one board of a lifeboat. I mean,
And
just think
yeah,
about that,
honestly, if he needed money, he could sell that.
Yeah, yeah.
Truth be told. So, do you think we have time for one more quick one?
Sure, go ahead. You got one.
I do. I
All
have
right.
one about a UK woman,
Oh,
and
cheerio.
she the ti- the title of the I don't want to say title. What am I trying to say? The headline is
Mhm.
Woman who sent message in a bottle out to sea gets angry letter in return. Quote, just wanted a bit of romance. This was November 15th, 2025 that this was posted. A woman was left shocked after her message in a bottle was sent back with an angry letter telling her to stop littering. Lorraine Forbes, 58, has long been sending out plastic bottles with letters inside them, sending them
Oh
out to
no.
sea with hopes of sparking a romantic connection with a stranger. Her messages have received responses from as far as Holland and France over the years, but says that they've mostly just washed back up on shore and nearby beaches. However, Lorraine from Eastbourne, East Sussex, recently received a nasty shock when one of her letters on the back of a John Lydon gig flyer. So I don't know who John Lydon is, must be some kind of performer. That somebody sent it back to her with an angry note from the litter picker. This is where it gets funny. The letter came
Oh,
in a
this is it
box.
here, huh? Okay.
Yeah, this is it. The letter came back in a box full of rocks, and it cost the lady $9 to accept the package. And the note said, "Please stop throwing rubbish in the sea. It goes to Pevensey Bay or Norman's Bay one day later. Many thanks, a rubbish picker." So she said Lorraine said she's lived by the seaside for 30 years. She was shocked by the harsh letter as her intentions were only to spark a connection. She said, "I've been sending letter for years, and whoever writes back to me rarely wants to meet me. They just tell me where they found them. I just wanted a bit of romance. It's always been a hobby of mine. It's an old-fashioned thing. It was a cowardly litter picker who sent me that response. I had to pay $9 to receive it, and I think that's really nasty. They were trying to make a point and teach me a lesson. I'll never know who the person is that sent me that letter. They refused to put their name on it. And if they had, I would have demanded they give me my $9 back," she says.
I was sure I'd be heading down to the shoreline with about 35 bottles and I'd be throwing them all in at the same time. That son of a bitch a day later is going to have a surprise on his beach, ain't he? There's 35 bottles there.
Oh God. So the letter, which
I
featured
do.
Lorraine's name and address on the back, she sent it September 5th, and then she got the response back a month later on October 7th. So I guess she goes down to Eastbourne Pier and throws the bottles off in bulk. So she probably does throw like 30. She
Yeah.
uses
Okay.
plastic bottles rather than glass ones because she doesn't want them to shatter in their travels. Although she said the littering has gotten her into trouble in the past, the staff at the pier, yell at her and tell her like she's impacting local wildlife, which is true. She says that, that even though it was cruel, it's a wake up call that environmental health officials might find her letter. See, her only concern is that the environmental health officials might find her letters and use her address to get back to her and get her in legal trouble. So then she goes in and does a whole story in the newspaper. I mean, not smart, but
Yeah, true.
she said she probably won't keep doing it because she doesn't want to have legal trouble. And
Well,
whenever I
here,
was telling Kez about this article, Kez said, "Well, which side are you on of this?" And I was like, well, she kind of deserved to get a box of rocks, honestly. Like those poor sea turtles and fish, and our water is getting polluted by plastic. Um, I think it's like I don't know how much plastic is gathered in the ocean every year from littering and stuff. So I'm actually on the side of the litter picker.
hmm, okay.
That's That's my side of it. You, on the other hand, would have just pissed him off and be like, "You ain't gonna tell me what the F to do."
I'm not really on either side. It could have went either way. So it just depends on the person being mean to her. If I was her, I'd be like, screw you.
Yeah.
But
But she's only worried about getting in legal trouble, so she's like, "I'm not
yeah,
gonna do that
yeah, it
anymore."
sounds like yeah. Then she should just stop.
I mean, the
Eventually,
fact of the
certain
matter
don't
is
do it.
she's been doing it for 30 years, trying to get romance. She's already admitted nobody ever wants to meet her. They just tell her where the bottle came to.
Yep,
Like, we have really advanced in technology in the last 30 years. So just go on Tinder like everybody else. Plenty of Fish, Hinge. I don't know what other dating apps are out there.
I don't know.
Whatever. There's tons of them. Whatever's in the UK. I don't know. There's farmers, there's single
Oh boy,
farmers.
oh boy,
Christian mingle, whatever. There's lots of them. Anyway,
Amish.
so there you go, listeners. Thank you so much for listening to our weird news of the day. If you have any
Hmm.
weird news happening around your neck of the woods and or anything that happened to you that you want to break as a breaking news story, you can send it to us. We'll be happy to share it with the rest of the world. You can send that to connectedrealm@gmail.com. That's connectedrealm@gmail.com. So stay tuned for the rest of the season. Every other Monday, we have our full topic episodes. And then on opposing Wednesdays, we have our weird news. So check us out, YouTube, any place you get your podcasts. You can find us on Facebook. Like, subscribe, share, all the things. Show us some love. We're doing what we love because we have fun. And we just want to say hi to all of our listeners all over the world. I think we're up to 50 countries now. So hello, hello. We should learn how to say hello in all of the languages.
That'd be a whole episode.
But I feel I feel like hello is pretty universal.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway,
Hi, hola.
bye. Well,
Um,
you could say
that's it.
ciao. Ciao is like
Ciao.
hello and goodbye. I don't
What
know.
what what? Aloha
Aloha, that's
is good.
Hawaiian.
Hello and goodbye. Ooh.
Hello and goodbye. Aloha.
Yeah. Aloha.
All right. Well, so we'll catch you next episode, peeps. Thanks for listening. Stay weird. Love ya.
Bye.
Bye.